Welcome back everybody. We are on to episode number 33 of painting all 50 of our nifty United States, and today we're going to be painting Washington. Now this one is very detailed, very intricate. It is a little bit of a longer painting. It took about an hour to make, so these videos are going to be, there's going to be two parts. This is part one. Come back for part two, it'll be great. If it's your first time joining us, step-by-step process is to trace it off the map, cut it out, trace it onto some canvas, paint it on that canvas, cut it out of that canvas, and then glue that canvas up onto the map. Now for Washington, I have no experience. I am fully relying off of the comments for it, and there were many of them, so it was a little tricky trying to get everything together to where it didn't look chaotic and still getting it all in there. And I came up with this cool idea that I wanted to try, so this is really an experiment whenever I was doing this, and it ended up working out really well, so it's going to be the final state. Now for Washington, there's going to be apples. A lot of apples are well known in Washington. When I was younger, I thought it was George Washington that liked apples. I didn't understand that there was a state that was named Washington. I always thought it was just George. But I would imagine that with wooden teeth it'd be very difficult to eat apples, so I don't know how he felt about them. But Washington State has apples, and of course with our apples, big fruit hanging like we've been doing with our other states, I'm going to put in that little bit of an abstract green background. And then other parts that were needed in this are Mount Rainier, and it's far off in the distance, so I'm going to make it blurry. I'm going to put it in there, but it's going to be a little bit blurry. And then, of course, staying away from blue for the sky. This is like a purpley gray that goes down into like a brightish yellow orange color. Just one of the many beautiful skies that I came across doing my research on Washington, and I felt like it would be the best fit. And then there were many other ideas, suggestions, and things that were thrown out there for this painting, and I'm gonna get those in here, but this is gonna be our basic layout, and then I'll get a little bit further into the intricate details in the next painting, or in the next part of this same painting. Just getting our little mountain off in the background here, and then blurring things out, trying to still make it look like a mountain and nice and snowy and all of those things. And then, of course, we got to jump in here and get a little bit more detail going on our apples. Now, if it's your first time joining us and you haven't been here before, feel free to check out all the other episodes. It has been a while, so there's many for you to catch up on. Binge them, enjoy them. It's great to have you here. If there are states that have not been done yet, I'm always open to suggestions. Feel free to drop comments with things that you want to see, things that you think would look good for a particular state. Anything like that is great. States like this, I have no idea what I'm doing going into them, so I try to incorporate as many ideas as I can, think through to where they look right. One thing I don't want to do is make things too chaotic and make it just look jumbled and uncohesive. Incohesive, either way. Here's our apples, getting little details on here. Got that nice yellow highlight for the middle of our big apple, and then our little apple over here, some darker shadows, and a little highlight on that as well. I know that New York is usually the state with the big apple, but today Washington's getting the big apple. And then, of course, we got to go in here, fix up the shape, because that was just our basic layout. So I got to make our apple look more apple-y and get that red, a little bit more of a solid red color as well. I'm sure you noticed in the background of the bottom half of this painting all the little green circles and yellow circle, the whites are all those little circly things to make it look like a nice blurry bit of color just behind our fruit, like we did on our other paintings, helping tie everything together on different parts of the map. I think this is looking great for a basic layout. Next, I'm going to be adding some orcas and Cape Flattery, so be sure to join us for part two.